Hi guys, how's it going? Got a little bit of a dry throat apparently. We were just snacking on the last of those Russian sweets that my friend mailed to us. Yes, from Russia. Literally, those Russian sweets. So, um, in light of all this stress I've been venting lately, I thought, I better get up here and talk about something else for a second. So, I've been playing this game called Etrian Odyssey Nexus. I posted once or twice about it. Jason bought me the game and came to me February 12th, I want to say. And so, since February 12th, I've been literally just tearing this game apart. The box is somewhere. I was going to show you the box again, but I have, like I said, 2 posts about it, so we can probably link those posts. The box is somewhere on the other table, so I can't show it to you. But Etrian Odyssey Nexus is off the top of my head, I want to say the 8th one in the series. So if you didn't catch my other videos, there is Etrian Odyssey 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they went back because 4 was the first one to be on the Nintendo 3DS. And so they went back and remade 1 and 2 for the Nintendo 3DS with an extra storyline. And then they made Etrian Odyssey, Etrian Mystery Dungeon, which is a cross between Etrian Odyssey and I believe it's called Mystery Dungeon. Then they made Etrian Odyssey 5. Am I missing one? I don't think so. And then they made Etrian Odyssey Nexus, and they claim it's going to be the last in the 3DS series. So, obviously, I had to buy it. I'm playing every single other game. You're not gonna not get the last one. So, Etrian Mystery Dungeon was like I said, it was a cross between 2 games, and therefore it was a little bit different gameplay than the other of the Etrian series. I've never played the Mystery Dungeon series, and so there's nothing to compare it to. But everything that was not Etrian Odyssey style, I assumed to be the other series. Atlas puts these games out, and they are amazing, and they are even more amazing when they come up with their strategic RPGs, and they are even more amazing when they're teamed up with Sega. So, there you go. That's another reason I had to get this one, because the 5th one and this one were both Atlas and Sega produced. So, I have some ups and downs. I'm still playing the game. I won the game, and if you know any of the Etrian Odyssey series, you know that they always have an epilogue. And so this one is no different. I am playing the epilogue now. It took me, February, March, April, May, 3 months to win the core game, and like I said, I was basically playing non-stop, so when Jason's stuck in bed or whatever, or we're just having a rainy day, something, I just sit there and play all day like I shouldn't, but there's nothing else to do. One of my loves of RPGs is that you generally get to boost your characters up in levels. And so that just appeals to me because you can make your characters stronger. And each game obviously has its own way of getting up levels. Or, what happens when you gain a level. Some games like the old classics like Phantasy Star, they it's just a random number. Like, say you might get 4 hit points when you're gaining a level, you might get 7. It just kind of, the game has little, digital dice inside or whatever, and it kind of just rolls them and gives you your stats. Well, the later games, some of them like Etrian Odyssey, have where you can put skill points in various things. Sometimes it might be hit points. You could put a skill point in a hit point and build your hit points. But they're mainly for your skills. And so you got you have 19? I think they have 19 classes in the Etrian Odyssey Nexus. And basically what they did was take, I guess, the fan favorites of every single Etrian game and use those classes. Of course, they made one new class, as they did with the remake of Etrian 1 and 2. Those are Etrian Odyssey 1 Untold and Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold. They give you an extra character, and so they did the same thing with these. They give you a new extra character, but the other 18 are ones that you have already played from previous games. One of my downsides immediately, and this is just personal preference, is that one of the characters I personally played every single game and took to the end of the game and never left my party is not in Nexus. But that's just me. Many people maybe didn't play that class, and so they just kind of like, okay, well, no one likes this class. And I'm going, I do. Okay, well, that's okay. So, I have the habit of finding the class that nobody likes or nobody can work with and making them so great. Like if you have played, I want to say it's Etrian Odyssey 3 when they introduced the farmer class. That is my favorite class of Etrian Odyssey Nexus. And so I took that farmer and I just buffed the mess out of him. Maybe you don't want to do that. That took work. That took guts. Some of the Etrian Odyssey games have what's called Grimoire Stones, and some of the Etrian Odyssey games have what is called subclassing. When you reach a high enough level and they get to a certain point in the game, whether that be through your stages you beat or something, you know, whenever they decided to introduce this, they will give you one of those options. Basically, the Grimoire Stones were you could put skills from other classes onto them and equip them to your characters, and so they could use their own skills as well as other classes' skills or enemy skills, which I liked. And some games like Nexus don't do the Grimoires anymore. They went back to the subclassing, which is still fine with me. So either way, it's cool because they have that extra help, and I'll use my farmer again. I've got my farmer subclassed with Night Seeker, and oh yeah, he kicks ass. So either way you look at it, Grimoires or subclassing is cool. So that part's good. They have a lot of maps. In fact, I think I heard that the maps are this game has the most maps out of any Etrian title. Now, being the last one, I've noticed, and I'm sure you'll if you are playing this or you have played it, you've read up that all of the maps are from previous games, and so you're going to see all of these stages. Most of the stages, I think the last two are, well, all of the shrines, I should say, are new. There's southwest, east, and north shrines, and then the Yggdrasil shrine, and the Abyssal shrine is the last, is the epilogue. Spoiler alert, even though I should have said spoiler alert before I said that. So Jason's laughing at me. Yeah. Okay, so, but all the other dungeons are ones you will find in all of the other games. But even so, I think the maps are different. Like the scenery is the same, the monsters are the same, but I think you're drawing a different map. However, my second main downside to this is that literally all of the shrines look the same. And then you have some of the dungeons are part of a side quest, but all of the dungeons from the side quests look the same as the main dungeon of that area. So though you have, I can't even think right now how many dungeons, you have quite a few number of dungeons. Several of them look the same, and I'm afraid that gets really like I just want to look at something else, and then so I go to a side quest and I'm like, alright, new dungeon, but it's really not new. It's the same thing as something I just played. So that kind of hurt me a little bit. And I think all the dungeons were picked by the fans, and so of course some of the dungeons I love to death and are in the game, and then some of the dungeons I love to death are not in the game. But there is no dungeon I just like hated or anything like that from the other games. Now I'm going to tell you, spoiler alert again, or maybe it's not even a spoiler alert, but the shrines are nasty. Maybe you expect that by now from an Etrian Odyssey game. All the shrines build on each other, and the next one is harder, obviously, than the one before. So that way, it's awesome because it keeps you on your toes. But yeah, it's very hard. I'm very sad that this is the last one for the 3DS, although they had mentioned if there will be another game, it's going to be for the Nintendo Switch. And so, like I mentioned before, possibly I'll have to get a Switch, I don't know. But with the Switch, I know they're bringing a bunch of the old Sega games that I used to play. So maybe I will be getting a Switch. Let's see, what else do I need to cover? I've covered characters, I've covered dungeons. Overall gameplay is the same as the other Etrian games, so you won't be surprised. There's no like icon changes or something you won't understand, or it's all the same. And it seems to me though every other game they switch the color of the dungeon you're looking at, but that's not a big deal. Maybe you're right. You don't want to look at the same color dungeon anyway. So, dungeons, characters. What else do I need to say about it? Dungeons and characters, and the quests have gotten easier, the side quests, because I don't know about you guys, but I used to have to look on the internet. I'm like, how do I do this dang quest? Like, I don't know what to do when I look on the internet.
She plays with the hair more than she plays the game.
Although I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
Etrian Odyssey 5 introduced the ability, I guess, to customize your characters. Now, say the other ones, you could pick from 4 different characters, 2 were male and 2 were female. So, Etrian Odyssey 5, and then with Nexus as well, you could still pick 2 and 2, male or female, but now you can customize their hair and their eye color and their skin color and their voice. Yeah, I don't want my girl's hair pink today, so I switch it to purple, and then maybe I don't like it, so I switch it to pink again later, but I move it to a different shade of pink. I probably mess with the character's looks half the time that I'm playing the game. It's cool though, because I really enjoy being able to customize my characters and so. But that does remind me of something. Etrian Odyssey Nexus did not dub the voices, and so they're in Japanese. My thought is that they're probably saying the same thing as Etrian 5, but I haven't pulled out 5 to test this theory. But that does lead me to the question, why did they not dub the voices? Now, some are cool and some speak English anyway. Like one of my little girl voices that I got. Like, she's so cute and she speaks English with this little Japanese accent, and so she's just the cutest thing. But everywhere you go, the mayor, the weaponsmith, everyone, just nobody speaks English. It's not dubbed, and so it's usually not a big deal because it's written there for you anyway, and so. But I just kind of wonder, like I wanted, like I hope this is a big blowout, like they're going all out for this game. Like I hope it's not just like, okay, we have to put out another one, let's see what we can do. Like they're getting kind of tired. You know, I hope they did that because they thought it was cool and not because they're bored. That was my thought about that, and like I said, I'd like it because some do speak English and some sound really awesome, but then you at the same time I'm kind of like, oh man, I want him what the bartender is saying, because the bartender seems like he's got such a great personality and I can't understand anything he says. So, party is based on you. There's so many classes, like I said, there's 19 classes, and then with the subclassing option, I mean, there are so many choices, and so I don't think there's any wrong party. You know, you have your fighters, your mages, your priest, your protector, like the other games, your survivalist, or your archer. Excuse me, your gunner. The Arcanist, which is like the Hexer. It's another name for Hexer. I mean, so all the classes are there that you could need or want, except my favorite class. But it's really good. They have Sovereign, you know, the prince or princess if you choose. So, and with the subclassing, I mean, you could have so many choices, and so character, team building can be kind of hard for that reason, but not in a bad way. It's a good way, hard, and it's a lot of fun to just to structure your party, and kind of challenging sometimes because some of the classes have the same type of skills, and so I'm always telling Jason, like, oh man, who do I put with this, because this person can iron bind, and this person can iron bind, and this person iron binds and curses, and then this person curses and heals, and this person, like, oh my gosh. So but each dungeon, in my opinion, requires a different party anyway, and so you just have fun with that. Generally, I love this game. Like I said, I do wish there was some different options or more options maybe, or just since it is the last one of the potentially the last one of the series, I wish they literally went all out. But I love this game, Etrian Odyssey Nexus. I love the entire series, and I have played them all several times. Now, once I win it once, of course, I slow down. Like, okay, I won it. I don't have to hit it as hard, But I played them and won them all several times, and there's still so much to do after you win it once, even if you can beat the epilogue, which you probably can't on the first go. So that's kind of my review, my opinion, my whatever, my likes and dislikes, my hopes and wants, and this was a very good game. It is a very good game as I'm still playing it, and I'm really, really happy I got into this series. If you guys would like to know more about it, maybe, I hope I can answer your questions and comments and such, and just leave them all there. I said in another video I was watching, well, I still am watching, but I'm ahead of him now. His name is Cool Good on YouTube, and I watch him, how he gets through the dungeons, and see if I missed anything, or if I didn't do something right, or, if I was stuck on one. I was really stuck on one for a while, and I had to wait until he got there, because I was a little bit ahead of him for a bit, so. But if you're playing this game and you want, check out his videos too, and then you can talk to me about it and just whatever, and it's a really good strategic RPG. So, there you have it. Thank you for listening to my gameplay. Love you.